Loud about nothing. It's me, your boy, the hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebastian Conelli. And as always, per usual, we got the cute boy here himself, Robbie boy. Robbie, say hello to beautiful people.
What is going on, beautiful people?
I'm excited today. Today we have a guest in the studio. He was hard to book.
We have a main character of the pod.
I had to go through his manager, my mother, to get the king himself. He's known for giving birth to the hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebi Provolone himself. Give it up for Dad.
He gave birth to you?
Oh, no. It's a part of it.
A small part.
Small part. Oh, no, not too small. Come on, Dad. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You can't start like that. All right, Dad. We have to get to it. We have to be serious.
Okay.
I brought you on the pod for one specific reason.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I have something that's very important that I need to ask you.
Yes.
What do you say to the allegations? What do you say?
What, that you're not my son?
Oh, what are we talking here? No, don't do that instantly. No, you can't. No. He's kidding. I'm a twin. That means two of us would be not it. What do you say to the allegations that you're not Italian?
Who said that?
Who said that?
The 23andMe. What do you say to this?
No, not 23andMe. What's the other one? Ancestry.
Ancestry, yes. We need to know who to drag.
I think the problem is the name Conelli. It's
why? What happened?
Uncommon name.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot more Connellys than Conellis.
So what does that have to do with DNA?
I don't think it has anything to do with DNA. I think they look at your name.
You think they just looked at our name and said that we weren't full Italian?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when you weren't when they said that you weren't a full Italian on Ancestry?
It didn't bother me.
Didn't bother you?
No.
He knows who he is.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
Well,
what is his email going to tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It doesn't matter. You could have
My
came
family's from Naples.
You could have came back 0% Italian. You wouldn't have believed them.
No.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Allegations closed.
There we go. Allegations closed. Now on to the fun stuff.
That's like saying I'm not a New Yorker.
And you are a New Yorker.
I was born in New York, grew up in New York.
There you go.
Right? You're going to say I'm not a New Yorker?
Never. I would never say that.
So my family comes from Italy. You're not going to say I'm not Italian?
No, I would never say that. I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
Check.
People out there on the pod say that I'm not real Italian. Yada, yada.
No. Grew up on pasta fazool and scarola beans.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. So you're here today because we had a last minute cancellation and we had to fill it in with somebody.
That's so good. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I'm so happy. I left work to do this.
Don't say no. We can't say that. Actually, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, everything matters.
But it's Father's Day. This is our Father's Day episode, so I thought what better way to celebrate than have a real father on the podcast himself, my dad. Cool. Dad, I was thinking about this episode. I was like, I was like debating how to do this, right? A lot of times I talk to people and we talk baloney. Have you ever listened to an episode?
Yes.
How many?
3.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good.
This is your third time on.
This is your.
Was the other two you?
Yeah, did you listen to your own episodes?
No.
Oh, okay.
You listened to 3 other ones.
No, I listened to more than that.
No, yeah. Well, you don't have to. I don't blame you.
No, I did not.
You did. Interesting. What'd you think?
It was good. They were good.
You can be honest. What'd you think? What do you think we need to adjust? Well, these were probably a while ago, but what do you think we need to adjust?
Nothing. I think it's natural. You have good guests on. They clearly enjoy being with you, and that's good.
Nice. So I was thinking, because we have you, I was like, how do I want to do this? Do I want to ask you about you? Do I want to ask you about what it's like to be a father? Or do I want to ask you about me?
Okay.
So there was one that felt very selfish.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's the route we're going to go.
No. Maybe. I think that we should.
We're going to talk about you?
No, I think we should steer away from that because I always bring it back to me.
And how easy it was to raise you as my son?
There we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about. First, let's talk about you, Dad. People don't know you're born in Brooklyn. Where were you born? What neighborhood do you represent in Brooklyn, Dad?
I came from downtown Brooklyn.
That's
Clawson
wow.
Avenue, Sterling Place.
that's beautiful. So that's different than what they call downtown Brooklyn today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Downtown Brooklyn would be by the courthouse.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's downtown Brooklyn. So downtown, it's like the neighborhoods change,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you like that I live by Clawson Ave?
Yeah.
You know that nobody calls it Clawson Ave.
What do they call it?
Classen.
Classen. No, because they're new New Yorkers.
They're new. Okay, cool. And so you went.
That's like saying, it's Houston Street,
There we go.
right?
Oh, he's coming for the New
He's
New Yorkers. I
he's
like
coming
it.
for. They're annoying.
Clawson
Huh?
sounds like a New York accent.
Yeah.
Clawson. People don't
Clawson
have those
Avenue.
high A's like that.
Clawson.
Clawson.
And that's
Yeah.
where I went to high school, on Clawson.
Really?
Staten Island Tech was on Clawson.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But not in Brooklyn.
Not in Brooklyn, in Staten Island.
Don't get people confused.
Don't get. And so, you went to you went to Catholic school. You were
Yeah.
raised Catholic, but I know that one of the things that you told Mom, you said the only thing about my kids is I don't care what religion they are as long as they're not Catholic. Is that true?
No. I never said
I like that.
that.
We
You
get
never
some
said
fact checking. Sebastian
You
just
never
gets
said
to
that.
talk wild.
Then
Now
what did
there's
you
a fact
say?
check
No.
here.
What did you say?
I said the only thing I care about is that my children should never eat macaroni and drink milk. That was my only condition.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about Carly?
I don't know what happened there. Carly would go to a diner.
My sister. Yeah.
Go to a diner. Now, like, in my mind, you order like maybe 3 or 4 things from a diner.
Okay.
What do you order, Dad?
Like a burger, maybe a turkey sandwich, an omelet.
Yeah. Maybe a soup if you're going light.
A soup is okay.
Yeah.
Right? Never a bowl of macaroni.
Yeah.
We'd go to the diner,
Oh,
Carly would be
no.
like, I want spaghettis and a glass of milk.
Oh.
And I'd be like, oh, no, Carly drink. But that's what you want. That's what you got.
Well, this isn't helping the allegations from the top of the show. That this is
He's
is
not
your
doing
child.
it. He has
I
his
know.
rules.
This is your
I
child,
wouldn't
though.
do
it. Yeah.
This is
I wouldn't do
the
it.
person you raised.
Well, this is what when you have children, you're going to realize everything you believe in and value, you compromise.
Wow. Wow. So that wasn't true. That wasn't true that you didn't want us to be. You were like, I don't want them to be Catholic.
No, we said, should they be Catholic? Should they be Lutheran? I told Mom. I said, let them be Lutheran.
Interesting.
It didn't,
You not?
didn't bother me.
Do you identify as Catholic now?
Not really.
What do you identify religiously as?
Easygoing dude.
I love that.
That's what you
Easygoing
really
dude.
think, so, Dad?
Huh?
That's what you really think?
Yeah, I really think so.
That you're like, you just don't know. You don't.
No, I think
What are your
just
thoughts on this?
organized religions are bad things for the most part.
It's cool, but you believe that people ruins what could be a God figure.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus didn't make all these rules about
No.
the Catholic Church. He was,
Yeah. I
I mean, if you want to believe he's Son of God, believe it. If you want to believe
Well, what
he
do you
was just
believe?
a holy man, you can believe that.
What do you believe?
Whatever you want.
What do you believe?
I don't know.
Easygoing guy.
Robbie,
He
let's
would
not.
never do this to anyone else.
Of course, I wouldn't do this to anyone else. These are questions I have. I wonder what you believe.
He's an easygoing
Yeah.
guy, or I'm an easygoing guy.
You are.
These are things I wonder about you. What you believe in.
Yeah, no, it's hard to believe that he was God.
Yes,
So
but you do think that there's
there's anything is possible.
really
I feel
deflecting
that.
the
I feel that.
questions.
I feel
Okay,
that.
we can move on. This is something I wondered what you think. We don't talk
I
about
thought
this.
You don't talk about religion.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't. But I always wonder
It's
what.
like, yeah, you want to get into an argument? Let's talk about religion and
Yeah.
politics.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, no.
No matter what you said, I would have said it would have just been interesting to me.
Okay.
Okay, so you
But
grew
it's
up.
kind of hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people believe it. I don't want to take that away from people.
no,
Yeah,
neither
definitely.
do I.
So
I just was wondering what you think, but you
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. My
I
therapist
yeah.
would say that because I say I have no idea. It was confusing. I don't know what I believe. And then she says, yeah. She said, well, your parents would just drop you off at church and leave you. She goes, well, that was a hint of what they believe. They believed in going to Costco to beat the lines rather than pray to Jesus.
Wow, your
Amen.
therapist is doing jokes.
Amen. Amen to that.
No, because I'm not sure. And she's like, it doesn't sound like it was important to your family.
Well, you went to Sunday school.
I would go to church too.
Well, but you went to Sunday school.
It was a 3-hour ordeal. I was there. There we go. So Dad, you did. People don't know this. You went to high school. Shout out your high school one time.
Zavarian High School.
Of course, Brooklyn, where we at. And always I remember Grandpa would tell me the story about how you got in a fight. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
And Grandpa would tell me the story over and over again about how, and he watched you get in the fight from his car or something.
No, he didn't see me get into the fight.
But he like told you what to do or something, or what happened?
Growing up, Grandpa always told me how to defend myself.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm not somebody who likes to fight. I don't fight,
No.
right? And I was in high school, and it was like near the end of my freshman year, and there was this guy who always used to kind of make fun of me.
What would he
Right.
make fun of you for?
Tall guy, tall skinny guy.
So what would he say?
He'd be like, "Hey, string bean, hey, whatever." This is stupid talk.
Stupid. It was just
Right?
yeah.
It was like stupid high school talk.
Yeah.
I didn't pay any attention to it, right? And then one day I'm sitting in a chair, and he comes into class late, and he tells me, "Oh, this is my chair. Get out of my chair."
Wow.
And I said, "No." I said, "We didn't. We had, you go in, you sit in the chair." And he grabbed me, and I was like, "Hey, get your hands off me!" Right? And he pulled at me, and I pushed him away.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna meet you after school." I'm like,
Was
Oh.
there a spot that everyone met to fight?
"Okay, yeah." There was like 2 blocks from the school. There was a candy store outside. That was where guys.
Everyone fight outside the candy store.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like real.
That sounds like real old Brooklyn.
It
Meet me by
really-
the soda pop shop.
Really? Really. And then all during the day, him and his friends would come up to me and say, "Oh, when after school, you're gonna get beat up and
Oh
blah
God!
blah blah."
And you
all
must
this
have had a
stuff.
knot in your stomach all day.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to fight.
Sure.
And but also he was really, he picked on me all the time. It was annoying.
Sure.
Because I was quiet, dude.
Yeah.
And
You were quiet in school.
yeah,
You weren't boisterous. You weren't like loud.
no, not at all.
Were you popular? Would you say, or were you more?
Yeah, I had everybody had their groups of friends. I had
Yeah,
my
yeah.
groups of friends.
Yeah.
And and then so I was like, I went there after school. He was there, and it was very weird because he pushed me, right? You know, like how when guys start to fight, they're like, "Oh." And in my
It's
head,
like that fear of that a fight's gonna start. It's like we need to ease into it, like walk into the.
well,
wall.
I didn't ease into it.
You didn't. Oh, okay. Here we go, Dad. Here we go. Okay.
Because you know what? It
He
was
pushed you.
a weird moment. I was tense. He
Uh-huh.
pushed me, and I was like, okay, we could just do this, and or I could just take advantage of the moment. And he pushed me, and I clocked him.
And he fell down.
He went down on his knees. I hit him again. I pushed him to the floor. I said, okay, that's enough. I swear to God.
Wow, you sound like a Zen Buddha. You sound like you're so controlled.
I was clear. And then
And then what happened?
several of his friends, because all of a sudden it was like very quick. I beat him up, and you should know I have knots in my stomach, but
Yeah.
I've got adrenaline going. And his friends turned around and now they decided as a group they were going to beat me up, right? And I stood there and I'm like, come on, let's go. And I was ready. I was like,
whoa, Dad!
I mean, you beat the head of the snake already.
You were ready? How many dudes were coming at you?
There was like 3 guys, and this guy from the school stepped in, and he was like, his first name was Joseph. I always remember him, and
that's really limited for a Catholic school. A guy named
In
Joseph.
Brooklyn, yeah.
I don't want to say his last name.
Oh yeah.
And he jumped in between. He was like, hey, it was a fair fight. Leave him alone.
That's awesome.
That was it. And and we walked back to the school, and then I went home and all this stuff, and I felt terrible because I had such a stomachache when I went home.
Yeah.
But then the next day I went into school, and people were making a big deal about it, like, oh yeah, Anthony, oh my stuff, and I felt bad because I didn't see it, but when I saw him the next day, he looked like he had gotten beat up.
Oof.
And the worst part was I was in religious class, right? And right, Catholic school.
Yeah.
And the brother met with us after school.
Because he knew that you two fought.
Yeah. And he was like, he said to the other guy, "You sorry you got into the fight? And would you do it again?" And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it again." And me and my own arrogance, he said, "Are you sorry?" And I said, "No, I'm not sorry. And if you want me to do it again, I'll do it again right now."
Wow, Dad!
I mean, this guy was probably annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Every day.
It was.
People like that are so
It was
fucking
really,
annoying.
like when we talk about people getting bullied in schools, this guy would bully me, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would just like take it. I would be like, I'd shake it off
Until he physically touched you.
Yeah, and then and that term I got a 65 in religion.
Wow.
I was like, well, I'm never gonna say that to a brother again.
Sure. Oh, interesting. It's nice to hear that full story.
Yeah, but that was, and then yes,
Because Grandpa
And
would
then-
talk about it.
for several days after that, at the end of, I would come out of school and Grandpa be in his car waiting at the corner for me because he was worried that
You were 14.
he would worry that somebody was. At that point I was 15.
Yeah.
At that, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
But he was worried like these guys would do something. Nobody did anything.
Sure.
Nobody did. And so that was a big deal.
Interesting. That's a
Oh
story.
yeah, it was a big story. It was big. It was like a
Family
big
story.
thing in the school for 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then they
that
were
would
on-
always be
They were
that.
on to somebody else's
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Sure.
But
That's cool.
And don't promote fighting. I don't think. I always told you, walk away.
I never really got in fights.
Yeah.
No, I was never like that.
My dad would always say, if they try to hit you, hit them harder, and I would not do that. I would get bullied all the time, especially in middle school, and it's just like annoying. It's like I don't want to deal with this today. Like
Right.
I don't want to have to be at this pressure to fight somebody. Like what do we do? Like I don't want this. Like
It's a
please
terrible
just
thing.
leave me
And
alone.
Things are different these days.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have a fight and it's over. It's like you have a fight and who has a knife or
yeah.
who comes back with their friends with. I mean, when I was at Satellite, we had a situation once.
That was a school that you were the principal of.
Yeah, the director.
Director. You don't say principal, huh?
No, it was because it was a very small school.
Well, when I tell everyone that my dad was a principal.
Because they don't understand anything else. That's
Okay.
easy.
Cool.
But there was a situation where all of a sudden there were like 50 guys outside the school, and they were looking for this one kid,
Wow.
right? And I'm not joking. It was like in front of the school, out in the street, just packed with kids, and they're looking for this one kid. And what does that one kid do?
He comes to you.
No, he goes running out into the street.
To fight them all?
So the teacher who we ran out of the class, she comes running to me and is like panicked. I go outside. I'm like, oh boy, right?
Yeah.
I see my student. I see him talking to this other guy, and so I walked right up. I faced my student, and I told him, I said, I need you to go back into the school, into the building now.
Uh-huh.
And he's looking at me and he goes, Anthony, you got to go inside. I don't want you to get hurt. I said, I'm telling you, you have to go inside. He's like, Anthony, these guys all have weapons. He says, I'm like, don't worry about it. Go inside. I know. I'll take care of it. Right? He goes walking back. I turn around to the other guys. I say, hey, who is this involved? Right? It involved this one guy.
Uh-huh.
I said, if you want, because we already called the cops.
Yeah.
And they should be here in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want, all your friends should leave right now or they'll get arrested.
Uh-huh.
Right? Or also, if you want to solve this problem, you can come into my building and I will sit with you and this guy and we'll sort it out.
Wow.
And he goes, okay.
Yeah.
And we're getting close to the building. And I said, wait a second. We have a policy, no weapons in my building.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, okay, 1 minute. Goes to his friends, comes in. It was the guy had talked to his ex-girlfriend. That's what this was. They were going to kill this guy over him at a club talking to an ex-girlfriend. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But that's that's different. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me.
You were
and then we heard the sirens coming and everybody beelined out.
Yeah, you got it.
You were you did music before you got into education, right?
Yeah.
What was
you
your
know that I was at
you did the show with us.
You did the show. I saw my
You
friend
forgot?
this weekend.
No, I did not forget.
My friend this weekend brought it up. She was like, Sebastian's dad is the best. He
That's
was
amazing.
so good. Yeah, you really touched some people that night.
What was that journey like for you, Dad? All right, everyone. Today we are brought to you by One Bone. One Bone Clothing is some of the best shirts I've ever owned, if I'm being honest. I'm rocking one right now. Look at this. I'm fun. I'm silly. They have sizes that are so ranged for all the big and tall men out there, all the way down to cute little chipmunks like Robbie Boy. And you know what's cool, bro?
What?
One Bone must be listening to episodes.
Okay.
They're getting inspiration from the boys. You know why? They just dropped a button down.
All right.
They must have heard that it's button down open summer.
Okay.
We're rocking button downs with tank tops underneath, and One Bone has got the hints.
All right.
We are going to be rocking them. I'm so excited to cop my One Bone button down. I'm going to be wearing it all summer. And Robbie?
I might have to get one as well.
I think your boy's going to have to get one
I
too.
think I will. I
we
love the shirt that I have from them, the T-shirt. I brought it on vacation. You know, it's good when you bring it on the vacation.
When you're taking one of those shirts, you go, that's a vacay shirt?
Yeah.
I mean, UK
You only
was...
bring 4 or 5. I was only away 4 or 5 days.
That's
A vacay shirt.
I'm about to go to Denver. You better believe One Bone's
yeah.
going to be... One Bone is sponsoring my trip to Denver, basically.
One Bone is helping us out. So check them out. The clothes are good. We wear them. We wear them. Big stuff. We're wearing these clothes.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we wear them even when we're not on mic, which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And so go check them out. And if you want to get your father a nice gift, these are great quality shirts. He'll love them. They have shirts that it looks like you're not even sweating. It's amazing. So go check that out. 15% off when you use the promo code LOUD, LOUD. Beautiful.
It was a lot of fun.
Well,
I had a great time.
It was just, you're like, I want to do this, and then you started just playing in the clubs. Did you start playing original songs? Did you start doing just covers at first? Do you remember the first time you got on stage doing it?
It depended upon where we were. I mean, sometimes I would do like some small clubs, pubs and joints like that by myself, or maybe with one other person. And then you had to do a lot of just like cover songs, like, whatever was popular, because that's what people wanted in the background.
Yes.
But then if I was playing at a club like at the
Bitter End,
the Bitter End, or Tramps, or Reno Sweeney's, or whatever, or the Ballroom, all those places, those were all original music.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What made you stop doing it?
It's in spite of what people think, it's not fun, glamorous work. It's
How
just
so?
a lot of hard work, and and you're getting up when people are, you're going to bed when people are getting up, and and if you're in a recording studio, there's a lot of just sitting around waiting,
And so you just realized that wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah. I wanted to do something where I had more of an impact on and be more productive.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. A lot of people don't realize the arts stink. There's a lot of stuff behind it that stink.
Yeah.
When I said I want to get into the arts, were you scared? Were you thinking this is dumb? What would you think?
No, I thought, you got to listen. I said it to you all the time. You got to do what you want to do. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. And do I worry? Yeah.
What do you worry about? Money.
You should all be buying and sending money to my son.
Absolutely.
So I could be relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How's
Yeah.
that?
There's just no stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard. What did you and Mom say the first time I brought up that I wanted to do comedy stuff? You must have had a private convo between the two of you when that happened.
Mom said my nightmare has come true.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Actually,
She actually said that, right?
Not exactly.
No, not exactly. Jesus Christ!
she's so funny.
You have to understand.
She's so dramatic.
That's amazing.
Mom just goes crazy. She gets so embarrassed for comedians.
Sure.
Like we would play in the clubs, and there would always be comedians doing things. She would be embarrassed of them, even if they were good.
Interesting.
Right?
So-
Because there was like always this kind of like fear, like they wouldn't be funny, and people would heckle them, or and that type of thing.
That's okay.
So when you said that, that was fine. But and we said fine. I had one condition, right?
I finished school.
That you finish college.
That was I want to drop out of college. That must have been a rough time for you.
No, it wasn't hard because we talked about it and you said okay, and then did I help you?
You did. You helped me. You would
Right.
come up. We talked.
I came. We talked.
We talked to
went
guidance
a
counselors
a
together.
career counselor, all that
We
stuff.
went to a lot of things
Right,
together.
Right. I was there. I
Yeah.
helped you.
Yeah, that was a very hard time in my life.
Really? Could have been an electrical engineer. I could have been living on Easy Street.
What do you think? I would have been giving you money?
Yeah.
All the electric engineers I know, their parents live in mansions in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I would have still been making less money than you were.
Not at all.
Um,
High-paying jobs,
Yeah.
yeah, they are. Yeah, but I would have been unhappy.
and you're smart, so
Yeah.
you would have done. You would have done.
I
Very
would have been
well.
unhappy.
And that's how come.
hated
That's how
it.
come I didn't fight you on that one.
I
Yeah.
hated my internship
Yeah.
so much. I hated
Yeah.
doing that work. I was able to do it. I just didn't like it.
You got to do what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that good? Were we good parents to you?
Yeah, and that
Accommodating?
in that way, yes, I
Yeah.
was very
Wait, in that way.
yes, in that way, yes, you were very
Oh,
good.
God.
Yeah. I was just wondered what you guys thought. I remember the first time. Yeah, let's say I remember the first time you came to see me perform. It was like a class show in a bright room. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was absolute. Let's just cut the baloney. I've done good stuff. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I was absolutely horrible. And I remember you and Mom drove me back to college and dropped me off.
And said, "Don't leave college."
What were your thoughts then? This is why I was like
what level class was it?
the level 2.
Level 2.
This was
okay.
level 2. I probably done comedy 10 times at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In front of a group of people.
Oh.
And my parents
yeah.
came. And
This was your stand-up stuff.
no, this was
Was that one
the
of your
improv, an
things?
improv show.
Yeah,
It was bad.
You were a little.
It was bad.
You were novice,
So yes, of course, and that's appropriate.
but it's different now.
Well, here's the thing.
I saw you.
Wait,
very
no,
different.
Wait, I saw you with rat scraps.
There you did. You did.
I was like, was I impressed?
I think so. You told
Yeah.
Shannon she did a good job.
Shannon was great.
You told
Shannon is
Shannon.
great.
That's what I heard. I goes, oh, your dad said I did a good job. I go, oh, that makes one of us.
I said you did a great job.
I know. So you dropped me off at college. You just saw your son. He says he has a dream to do comedy. You just saw him do a comedy show. It's absolutely horrible. What's the ride back from the Bronx to Staten Island?
He needs to practice.
That's what you thought.
Yeah.
You both did you
He
talk
needs to get
about
better.
it?
You got to do that 10,000 hours.
Did you two talk about this in the car?
Yeah.
What did you tell me? How'd this conversation go?
We said he has to practice.
Wait, you were bad, or was the show like you were
was
actually
pretty
bad?
bad.
I was pretty. I was about to say the show was bad.
Because I imagine nobody else was good.
No. I think there was other people. No, I guess I was bad. And so, who brought it up? Who broke the silence about it?
Oh, Mom did.
Mom did. Mom, what did
I'm
you
not
say?
taking credit for that.
What did Mom say?
I don't remember. How
But-
many years ago was this?
I know. I'm just wondering. I always think about that.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, did you go
You didn't
again
go
along
again
the way, or no?
No.
He wouldn't let us come. To
He
the
wouldn't let
shows
you come.
That was the last show that you came to see
for a long time.
for 8 years.
It was
9
like,
years. That was the
Yeah,
last thing
yeah.
they saw.
Wow.
And were you during that 9 years? See, this is why I was like, let's start with you, because do you see what happened, Dad?
What happened?
It became about me. So this is why, like,
We knew this was gonna happen.
I know. We tried. We did a call.
He goes, let me see if he believes in God, and then we'll make it about me.
I want to see how deep he wanted to get on the pod. He said, "No, thank you." I said,
Well,
"All right,
it's a comedy podcast, right?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
we don't put labels.
Loud about nothing.
Loud about nothing.
That's
That's
it.
the only label.
That's it. So
So you saw him again.
during that
8 years later.
8 years later, wow.
during that
He got really
8
good. He did practice a lot.
And he said, a little more practice.
Oh God! So you didn't see me for that amount of years. What's going through your head during that time? I'm living at home.
The whole time?
No, for
No.
a chunk of it. So I then after college moved back home. I'm living at home just doing comedy. The only time you see me do comedy, I was horrible. What's going through your head?
You needed to work. You needed to get better at it. I understand that. It's not something where you're great at something right from the start, especially something like improv.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that, how hard it is, and and how you need to get in sync and think on your feet and anticipate and compliment, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but you were just like, that's him. That's what my son. When people would ask what I do, what would you say?
He's an electrical engineer.
What would you? Was there a moment of embarrassment when you had to start telling people that I wasn't?
never.
Never?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, why? Did you think I'd be embarrassed by you?
I don't know.
No. Why should I be embarrassed
I
by
don't know.
you?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
there's other reasons.
some of the things you say, that's how come I don't listen to all your podcasts, because,
Of course.
of
Of
and I
course.
tell Mom, don't listen to his podcast.
That's what's something that you heard that you might want to bring up that I shouldn't talk about.
Oh, a simple thing, like you don't get information correct.
When you have a sponsor on the podcast, it's important that you not only tell the people about the product, but you show the people the product in action. This sponsored ad is brought to you by Sebi Good Vibe Gummies.
Semi-good vibes.
Sebi Shut Eyes Good Vibes.
I mean, they are good vibes. These gummies are good vibes. Can't confirm.
Here's the thing. About an hour and a half ago, I took a couple of these Good Vibe Gummies. I got a pizza in the oven. I did my own kind of pizza situation. I'm cutting an ad for a little weed. I mean, Robbie, life is pretty good.
Life is great.
I'll tell you this. Sometimes it's good to just check on your boy. No. I wanted to make sure I did an ad where I was actually on the good vibes. It's really hard, my work. My job is very difficult. And today my job was getting high and preaching about it.
We did record an episode earlier.
My job today I want to give a shout out to all to the engineering professor that told me that it was a big mistake that I was dropping out of engineering school. Was it? Because I just got paid to get high and tell people about it. Was it a mistake? Professor Loser? You know what I do for a living? You teach students how to make bridges. What do? I teach hot people how to get good vibes.
Incredible.
Robbie said, can he take some? I said, no, you got to edit
Well,
the
I
clip.
edited and you took good vibe gummies.
I go, babe,
He
I wish
did
you
the ad
could, but I
recording.
I have to be the responsible one who does the vibes so that the audience really knows what's up. Go check out Sunset Lake CBD.
Sunset Lake, we love them. They're incredible. They grow all of their products on a farm, ethically sourced. It's
There we
great.
go.
LOUD, loud.
Wow.
For 20% off.
How is Robbie's copy worse than mine? And I'm the one. You just said
It's ethically, they have a good farm. I don't know.
You just said they grow it on a farm.
That's good. Like people the other day were asking me if there was pesticides in my weed, and I was like, oh no.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Anyways, go to Sunset Lake CBD. Use promo code LOUD.
Get those good vibe gummies.
It's very nice, very relaxed. You do a couple of them.
Do a couple. Couple get you nice.
Couple get you nice.
One's great. One will get you feeling the good vibes.
One will get you like just to a nice even place. A couple will get you feeling fun. 4,
5.
4
is you're
we're playing with your boy right now.
4 you start to play.
I'm
4
going
is a lot.
I'm going to Denver, so I'm like trying to pregame my tolerance.
Oh, nice.
So that's what's happening right here. Living the dream. Sunset Lake CBD.
Sunset Lake
20%
CBD.
off with LOUD. Promo code LOUD.
First off,
Constantly.
on our first date,
Okay.
I just want to clarify.
Uh-huh.
Mom never cursed.
Yeah.
She never said, I'm going to smoke these effing cigarettes, blah, 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 whatever that was. However you told that story. You know, and there was truth in it. She was, at the time, she was smoking. And at the time, I did say, are you going to smoke throughout dinner? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. And then I didn't order garlic pizza. I ordered shrimp scampi.
There you go. Not that big a difference.
Well, I was at a nice restaurant.
Well, good for you.
So,
What restaurant? Cafe Rezos?
no, it was the Fisherman's Corner.
Oh.
You know, it was famous because the Saturday Night Live movie, there's the scene where John Travolta's having coffee.
Okay.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, what'd I say?
It's Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Fever. And they're having coffee, but it was shot in that restaurant.
Oh. Nice. So
that's nice. I
the
took
Bay
Mom to a
Ridge
nice-
spot.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So let's talk about me as a little kid. Okay? We might as well
Wait.
just
How
do
was he when you saw him 8 years later?
He was much, much better.
Yeah.
that. Much better.
And he was good in Edinburgh and all
Oh,
that.
he was great.
He's the best.
There you go.
He's
Great.
literally one of the best in the
I said
world
you were
at
great.
this thing.
Yeah,
Right?
There you
Yeah.
go.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, my dad got to see a range of people.
Oh, really?
It was. It was interesting
So
to
it's-
see.
It
Novice
is good to
people,
see. Yeah,
experienced
yeah.
people, people who worked together a lot, people who didn't. It was nice,
There you go.
and they were all great people.
That's,
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Sometimes the funniest people are the worst.
No, I don't think so. I think the funniest people are the funniest. The best.
All right. So let's talk. So
Yeah,
I was a baby. I'm born.
you were born
I was born in Brooklyn
with
What-
your sister.
with my twin. I have a twin sister.
Yes.
What made you force me to move to Staten Island rather than become a Brooklyn boy? Why did you move the family from Brooklyn to the horrid place of Staten Island?
Because
No,
I'm gonna guess-
no, because we listen at the
Space?
time. There was like we were living right.
Uh-huh.
There was the 2-family house. With
on 59th Street.
Mumu and Mufa were downstairs. Mufa
Grandma,
had passed
grandpa.
away.
Yeah.
Right, and we had upstairs 1.5 bedrooms. So there was the
It
bedroom
was only
for Mom
1.5 bedrooms?
Yes, I mean, so we had in
And
the
there was
small room.
5 of us.
We had 3 of you in that room.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was a cockroach problem.
it was a cockroach problem, but that was
Oh.
only part of the problem. But we had 2 cribs and a bed, and I actually, in order to fit it, I made Linnea a futon bed, and then bought a futon to put on it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never realized
just to fit it in. Otherwise, we couldn't fit in 3 cribs. And
that must have been
beds.
such a hard year to be the 3 of us in a 1.5 bedroom.
Well, what made it hard was you didn't sleep, so you would wake everybody up all the time.
And then you would just sit with me.
And then I would take you out. We'd go inside into the other room and just sit there.
My dad always talks about how I couldn't sleep.
He was a horrible sleeper.
Horrible. Still am.
Yeah.
Still am.
But
So-
then we also had the cockroach problem.
And then there was cockroaches in the crib and stuff.
Oh
right?
my God, that was terrible. That
Yeah.
was terrible, and that's what forced us to move.
Yeah. I get that. I hate Staten Island. Do you know that? I'm not blaming you.
It is what it is.
I'm not.
I mean,
it became a worse place.
We bought that house because it was perfect for us. It was affordable. We had a big house, an
Yeah.
apartment for Momo downstairs, and
Yeah.
a big backyard, and
A
on a
huge backyard.
cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
right next door to our cousin.
Yes, next door to Cuz.
I had so much of my family left Brooklyn. some to Staten Island, and then a lot went to like South Carolina. They were like in 1-bedroom apartments, sold them, and bought mansions in South Carolina.
Well,
And I have
that's what
so much
happens.
family down there now.
Do you feel like you saw Staten Island become a horrible place? Or was it?
How
What
did
was it
become a
like when?
horrible place?
How did it become horrible? Wow, Stan, really don't want to pick a side, huh? You think Staten Island's a good place?
It's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite place.
Okay. I didn't love growing up there.
Why? We had some nice things times growing up.
We had nice times. Yeah, I think the people. I always say the family was nice. Outside the family was a little wild.
Yes.
People that like, were there have a lot of toxic behaviors.
Well, the thing I always worried about was like too much drug use.
There was a lot of drug use there. It was wild, rampant. I mean, now is insane.
Yeah. No, it's a bad thing. It's a shame.
It's gotten worse and worse since like I see a lot of my friends were involved in that stuff, and that's very sad. And I see people or like people that have reached out to me, they're just like, "Oh, it's crazy that you left Staten Island, that you got out of Staten Island." I'm like, what are we talking here? Yeah, but it was absolutely horrible place to go. Even as a kid, remember I played CYO basketball?
Yep.
And the dads would get kicked out for like getting fights or throwing stuff. Remember the dads that would just be screaming?
That's lots of places.
You think so?
Yeah, I have a feeling that's lots of places.
Interesting.
But also like we talked all the time about what you should do and
I know.
drinking and doing drugs and avoiding bad situations.
Yeah, and you always, my parents were good. They would say no matter what, they would really stress no drinking or drugs or driving and stuff like that. And they would pick me up. No
That's
matter
nice.
what state I was in, my dad would be rolling through. 6 dudes would pile in the car.
That was good.
And
though.
those
That is good. That's
those
the
are some of
best.
the quietest car rides you've ever been in, huh, Dad? Dad, what would you be thinking as you were driving around 5 guys that all smell like beer and weed? What were you thinking in your minds?
I was like, thank God you called me up.
That's what you would be thinking.
Really.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm not a naive person.
No,
But also,
no.
better that you're in the car with me or
Sure.
that you're on the subway or got into a car with somebody else who's
Yeah.
drunk. And
I would always
stoned
call
or
you.
whatever. Yeah.
And
That's
I
good.
would never get in trouble the next day.
I was happy that you called.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's great.
It was. I would always hear about it, but it was never like you can't go out next weekend,
No.
which is good. Which allowed me to call again.
Yep.
Yes.
That allows me to call again.
And then how did it also make you think about drinking and getting high and stuff?
How did it make me think about it?
Yeah.
Made me think like I had a DD,
I mean, that's what I would
a
think.
designated daddy. 1 a.m. Hey, I'm on the North Shore. Can you come get me? The worst time was when I had to call from the ShopRite parking lots. Mom never let me live that down. I was alone in the ShopRite parking lots and needed a ride home. My friends just dropped me off there. Good friends, huh?
Yeah, well, they were your friends.
Do you remember when I was little?
I do.
When I was little, right? Do you remember when I used to have those panic attacks?
Yes.
What do you think? What was going through your mind? So when I was little, I would scream. I would just start screaming out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And I would just say I had bad thoughts. I have bad thoughts.
Yeah.
Just screaming.
Yeah.
And how old was I then?
You were little. What would you like? 4, 3, 4?
I was a baby. And what
Yeah.
what were you thinking?
You had anxiety,
What
right?
Yeah.
And we would talk, right?
Yeah.
You were also, I think sometimes, you're a smart kid, and then you would ask too many questions.
My therapist told me that. She said that your intellectual intelligence surpassed your emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
So you learn all this stuff and you emotionally couldn't process it.
Well, please. We were driving home from Virginia, right? We saw driving home.
Let's not say full names.
Okay.
Let's leave them out of it. So start the story again.
Like coming home from a state that was south of DC.
Jesus Christ, Dad.
Right outside the DC, greater DC area.
And we stayed with two people who let us stay in their house for a week. and we didn't get in the car. We weren't in the car more than 10 minutes, right? And it takes a good 4.5 hours to drive home.
Uh-huh.
And we're in the car. It's the evening, and the first thing Sebastian goes to Karen and me, why do people die? And he starts to cry. And in my head, I can remember saying to Mom, it's going to be a long ride home.
Oh, that is a long
It's a
ride.
long,
10 minutes
it's
in.
a long ride home.
And you went on and on and on the entire time.
And this was me as like a 3-4-year-old.
Yeah.
Just processing this.
Yep. And we talked with you, as you know. Mom was always good with that, because she would understand, age development, child development,
Uh-huh.
and what you should say and what you shouldn't say and how you should say it. So she was very good with that.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that did a number on me, those panic attacks, Dad.
As opposed to a parent who says, "Hey, just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My
no.
parents would lie.
Don't worry about
My
it."
parents
Yeah.
would just lie.
Really?
I asked so many
They
questions.
don't
They would just
die.
lie all the time. Yeah, they would take shit like that. They go
Yeah.
away, or like
Yeah.
how baby. I would just get lied to.
But then would you be like, I hope those panic attacks go away?
Well, we would talk with you. Carol would talk. Mom would talk to people and to help us and think that through. But yeah, why did they go away?
They go away. I remember during college, they came back a little bit.
Mhm.
I remember at a point in college, I was scared to go to class that I would start yelling in class. What?
You would yell in class?
Or you know how I would have a bad thought, I couldn't control my I
Yeah.
would go right?
Yeah.
I would worry that I would do that in class because I guess I was so stressed.
I don't remember you doing that in class. You
No.
never talked about that.
I never talked about that. I was
No.
scared in class. I would
Oh, yeah.
start
Oh.
have one of those moments.
No,
I do
you-
it in my
yeah,
sleep
that's cool.
sometimes.
So,
But I have those panic attacks in my sleep now. You think that's healthy, or am I just a man? What do you think about my panic attacks in my sleep? You think those are
He's
good?
not a psychologist.
you're going to a therapist, right? My son,
This is a therapist's job.
this is something for you and your therapist.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, but
you're right.
listen, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? If it doesn't go away or you can't control it, then it's a problem.
No, yeah.
Listen, I told you this. I was in 3rd grade,
Uh-huh.
right? And the teacher, it was at the time when they would do those. You guys are too young. Air raid attack things, right? Like it was gonna be like
You can't tell a story about 3rd grade and then say your son, oh, you're too young to remember this.
I'm just saying, they would do these atomic bomb drills.
It was for the Cold
like a
War.
fire drill, right?
The Cold War.
right? And they would make you stick your head under the seat,
Yeah.
right? And which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And my 3rd grade teacher says, and Grandma told me this because
Uh-huh.
I blocked it out. That she said, I hope that if they drop the bomb, they do it while we're in school so she could die with us.
Die with the nun.
And after, she wasn't a nun, she was a lay teacher.
Oh.
But after that, I just stopped going to school because my mind, I was like, I don't want the bomb to drop and me be in school. And I would run home, and Grandma would take me to school. And by the time she got home, I would be sitting on the steps.
Yeah.
Right. And it was horrible. And I would have such anxiety. I mean, you get that feeling,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
I don't, right. And sometimes I said, maybe I went into education to kind of reconcile that feeling or whatever. But to this day, there are mornings where I'll get that feeling and I'll be like, oh my God, that was such a horrible feeling.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
that's scary.
It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't go away.
And-
Things that we experience as kids kind of stay with us,
I
even
feel-
though we learn to manage them
Sure,
or control
sure.
them and stuff like that. But it's not like it goes away. It just kind of submerges.
Sure. And I feel bad for kids nowadays. They're dealing with the same things.
Yeah.
Craziness.
It's
craziness.
Yeah, that's hard.
I mean, we there are a lot of kids who suffer and have
That's
all
nice.
sorts of stresses, and that's how come we need to kind of take care of each other.
Yeah, how do you feel that you had a career where you really made a difference in people's lives and helped them? Do you feel that?
Sometimes.
How do you feel that?
Sometimes I feel good about it.
You feel like, oh, I actually helped the world.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
nice.
It was a nice thing.
And there's like particular people you think about, like I helped their situation, or
Yeah.
you still think about specific students and stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes there are students that stand out that had a particularly rough time, and
Sure.
you help them through, and then we would stay in touch and see people
Really?
later on and all this stuff. Yeah.
That's nice.
They would come back to the school, and we'd have reunions or events where we'd bring people back to talk to other students and all that stuff. So
That's really nice.
yeah.
So you're retiring
Yeah.
officially. You're done for good.
Yep.
How do you feel?
I have mixed feelings.
What's going on?
I feel like I should be
It's a
lying
hard-hitting
down.
interview.
I feel like I should be lying down on
I
the
don't
couch.
disagree. I don't know what this is. Yeah.
What are you thinking about? Because it must be a weird feeling to think I'll never have to work in my life again.
It is a weird feeling,
Right?
Because any job that I've had, I've ended it on a Friday, started a new job on the Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it was like I never was not working.
For 40-something years, right?
Over 45 years.
Yeah.
Right? And so the thought of that is, like, well, I can't not do nothing. Or can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Double negatives. But I think, there's a lot of stuff I don't want to do anymore. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You can make an impact in other
people say,
ways.
"Oh, go back and you could be a consultant and a leadership consultant, or kind of do groups or do," and I'm like, I did that for so many years. I don't want to do that anymore. It doesn't seem fun and interesting.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
You think you'll play more music?
I'll figure. I'll play some music. I'll practice, get a little better on the guitar again. A
Nice.
little better on the ukulele. Write some songs.
Oh,
see
I love
some-
that.
I also, you know what? It's also hard because I don't see a lot of friends, especially when COVID hit. All of a sudden, it's like nobody saw each other anymore.
Sure.
So I want to reconnect with some friends and
That's nice.
do that stuff.
And you're good about it. You go in and out of the city. People from Staten Island don't do that, but you go. You don't care.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't bother me.
That's nice. You know what, Robbie? You joked about how these are hard-hitting questions. It's this phenomena that, like, behind the microphone, I feel more comfortable to ask.
Well, I know. I know.
I'm using this.
We do this.
I'm using
he does
this
so-
as-
so MC that the microphone allows him to get stuff
How are
out.
these questions any different than questions you would ask if we were sitting at the table eating?
I probably would try to be a little funnier at the table eating.
Oh, that's well.
Not on the comedy
I'm not
podcast.
really worried about
Not on the comedy podcast.
Today, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried
Oh,
about
this is
that.
nice though. It's nice.
Yeah, I want. These are questions I've always had. That like
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's about being funny or more about just torturing his sisters
no,
and his mother.
My mother.
Oh.
My mother.
Don't say no about your sister. Well,
What do you mean? Carly?
You torture her.
I don't. Not now. Not now.
I haven't
I remember
seen that.
one Christmas.
I haven't seen that.
I did walk by her, and I farted in her face. This was about years ago. It was like 3 years ago. I walked by her and I farted in her face.
Now you get an idea
Yeah.
how mature they are when they're home together.
And she yelled, and then Mom yelled at Carly for yelling that I farted in her face, and then Mom made Carly apologize to me for yelling at me for farting.
I don't remember
That's
that.
a cliche exchange between me and Carly. All right, so famous.
And she loves him so much,
I
right?
know.
Well,
Very
She
don't-
comes to
don't
your
pretend
shows
I
all
don't-
the
I don't
time.
love her.
Yeah, she does. She's very supportive.
She's very
She
supportive.
is very supportive.
Well, she grew up with her cool brother in school. Did you think I was cool as a kid?
No.
You did? Oh, Jesus Christ! Are you kidding me?
No.
You thought that I was a little nerd or a weirdo, or what were you thinking?
No, never. I thought you thought you were cool.
You did.
Yeah. Because you wanted to be with the cool kids.
I was with them
That's what made me worry.
because I was hanging out with the cool kids,
Yeah, well, the cool kids
losers.
who like want to get high and stuff,
Yeah.
right? They were defining cool by the
Not
rebel without
Cool
a
on
cause.
Staten Island, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's stressful. Here's my question. So, on the podcast, you gave me one piece of comedy advice that we famously use on this podcast, and we never break that rule.
It's a lie.
Like,
Just
yeah.
whenever we break it, we do
pay
an ode to
homage.
you.
We pay homage to you.
homage.
We pay homage to you
Okay.
But we do break it.
because
Constantly.
it's advice you gave me early on.
What?
You said this. You said, Sebastian. Must have been 18. He goes, 20, something like that. He goes, Sebastian, if you're going to joke about your penis, don't joke that it's small. Joke that it's big. Nobody knows, so you might as well have the biggest penis in the world.
Good advice.
Now, how do we feel? Do we stand by this rule?
yeah.
Do we live by this rule,
Oh
Dad?
my God.
Because this is
Has
comedy.
small penises gotten any funnier to you?
Yeah.
I've never said that.
Yes, you can't take that.
Wow, I
Dad,
believe him,
This
actually.
is lore, Dad. This is lore on the podcast. That my father's comedy advice. What do you think about this advice? Do you stand by this advice?
It sounds like good advice.
Yeah. You like that? Okay.
When in doubt,
Yeah. All right. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. Good. We just had to know where
measure it in millimeters, and
Yeah.
then the number sounds really big.
Amazing. Okay. Do you know that when I post stories about you on TikTok, people like that?
Do you?
Yeah, I posted a story about you saying the stuff about that's not my wife, that may be your mother, but that's my wife stuff.
Oh, that's right.
That's our most viewed video.
Because sometimes he would say bad words.
I would. I'm much better now.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I mean, it's not like you're a kid anymore.
No. I settled down.
Yeah.
But that's one of our biggest viewed videos, right? Millions and millions of views.
Yes.
About a quote by you. And Dad, I'm going to say this. I'm not your son right now. I'm just another guy. The women have never been thirstier for you on TikTok than
They love that quote.
they love.
Well,
They
you
go.
stand by your woman. That's
I
why.
want a man like that. That's the
Yeah.
type of man I want. Your dad's hot. I
Really?
need a hot
Yeah.
dad like
Yeah.
that. What do you
Yeah.
What do you have to say to all the beautiful TikTok women out there that say that you know how to stand by a woman?
That's what's important.
What's important in a relationship?
Important is that you simply love and care for your partner
How do you do that?
by being patient, by being understanding, by doing things they like to do, right?
Okay. You were always very thoughtful. You would write Mom these beautiful letters,
Yeah.
and then Mom would give you nothing in return. I grew up with that. I grew up with the idea. No, wait. That
Yeah,
the
one
man.
rule before we started the podcast.
Always.
Yeah, she would just say
Okay.
always. And my
Oh,
dad
love.
would write like letters to my
Yeah,
mother
yeah.
about how much he loved her. And my mom would just give him a card, be like, or go, I forgot. So I grew up with this idea that a man just gives and gives, and a woman returns their love by going, maybe. What do you?
Your mother's very good to me.
I know she's good to you. But what do you feel when you write these long letters and then you get nothing in return?
I don't feel empty because I know that that's your mom. That's what listen, Mom is not good at writing stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little better at writing stuff. So I write that stuff and it makes her happy.
Uh-huh.
I don't, if Mom writes a card, that's, it's nice, but she'll make me happy in other ways.
How?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, kill me! Oh my
He
God!
said, I have one rule. We don't talk about your mother. You
the
brought her
one thing-
up.
The one
so
thing
I think
the
you
one
deserve
thing you never talk about
this. Yeah.
one of your children is like stuff like that.
Oh, God, no.
Please, Mom is always very right.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah.
She's thoughtful. She's your mom's great.
Yeah.
She'll make pasta fazool,
That's nice.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. She does a good job.
She did a good job raising the children.
100%.
Right?
Well, she did a great job. She did great, especially because you would work later.
My children would say I was an absentee father. So
Ah.
that was when they tortured me. You
Well,
never thought I was an absentee father.
No, because
went
you
to-
got home at 6 o'clock.
No, but I almost
7,
I went to
9?
almost every single
10:30 at night, he would go home. He'd wake me up. He goes, let's watch one episode of TV. I missed school the next day because I was trying to spend a half hour with my dad.
What is this? Is this real?
It's not real.
He'd be like, come on, let me take you out. Here. Me and my
We'll
dad.
go get a beer.
He'd go, let's go to
He was 5 years old.
Yeah.
me and my dad would go to OTB, and he'd sit there. My dad would bet, and he'd miss work, and I'd miss school. I got left back one year because he was betting the horses.
Oh God. And I've never been into an OTB in my place in my life.
You never been to an OTB?
No.
I've been to one in Ireland. In Ireland, like I walked into one because they're like, oh, these gambling places are like a big. I just walked in and walked out,
Yeah.
I don't even. What does it stand for?
Off-track betting.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm joking. No, yeah, I never thought you were absentee.
Good.
You never missed anything. You would take me to basketball. You would take me to soccer.
That's right.
Karate. What was it like to have a son that was so unathletic?
What do you mean unathletic?
You thought I did good?
Yeah.
In what?
You did good. You were good in soccer. You were good in basketball.
I was okay. Remember the season where we lost every game except we won one?
Yeah.
And everyone started cheering, and Mom made a cake for us when we got home.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Yeah.
I was really unathletic, and my sister was very athletic. So it was a little awkward, I guess, for my parents that the 2-year younger girl would just dominate on a weekend. It'd be like, oh, Robbie got to play 20 minutes, and Jackie scored 6 goals. And that would be the car ride home.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think about, so you and I just went, the audience knows we went away on a trip together.
Yeah.
What'd you think about
was
that?
great.
Was that nice for you?
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
You loved every minute. That was nice that we got to do that together.
I told you I was so happy that we got to do that.
That was nice. When I gave you, can I say this now?
Go ahead.
This is really, he's saving everything for the mic.
Saving everything for the mic. And we'll never talk about this off mic. When I gave you the gift, I was so excited. I told Robbie, I said, I'm going to have the gift of Christmas.
I was excited. It was an exciting gift.
I go, I'm going to ask him to come with me. I mean, it's not much of a financial gift.
Well, that's part of it a little bit.
No, but I talked to Mom, and Mom was going to get you the plane tickets,
She didn't give me the plane ticket.
You bought the plane tickets.
Yeah.
Well, that's your. Oh yeah.
Hey, your presence is a present.
Yeah, so maybe this is making more sense now.
I'm trying to think. I paid for the tickets.
Wait,
I paid for the
okay.
hotel. I paid for the meals.
No, I paid for stuff.
You
I
did
paid for
pay,
stuff.
right?
I bought meals. I had a couple of the hotels. So what are we talking here? You had got the fanciest hotel in all London for us, though.
It was nice.
That was so nice.
That is really nice.
That was nice.
And he paid for dinner the last night we were there.
I paid for dinner other nights. Your birthday night, another night.
Okay, so we had 2 nights.
Yeah,
Dinner.
2 out of 14.
Oh, come on! What are we doing? I got him
about
into the
10%.
shows for free.
The
You
shows
got
for
me into
free
the
is
shows
nice.
for
What
free.
are we talking? Entertainment?
Yeah. You got to hang out with him. He's a little
I
celebrity.
got to hang out with them. I loved hanging out with your friends. It was a lot of fun.
There you go.
They were great.
Wait, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get to this problem.
Okay.
Did you and I ever physically fight? No.
Oh my God! What are you talking about?
This is why I didn't know this is what this is gonna be.
No, I'm kidding. I know that we did. I know. I punch holes in walls. Oh, that must have been so annoying for you.
Oh my God! You know how many times I had to plaster the friggin' wall?
I was so not tough either.
Yeah.
Were you
That's what
just-
I didn't understand.
It was all fake. It was all me just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
So I'm all excited for this Christmas gift.
Yep.
It's gonna be the gift of the year, right? I'm gonna say, hey Dad, can you buy your plane tickets to come?
No place good.
You go no play. Buy plane tickets. Come with me. I give you the gift.
Yeah.
You go like this. You go, sure. And then you move on to the next gift. Colleen buys you a shirt with a bunch of cowboys on it, right? Something like that.
That was a nice shirt.
Yo, Jesus, you can't do that. And my dad opens the gift. He goes, sure.
Oh, wow, I didn't hear that part of the story.
Then
It was a nice shirt.
My dad gets the cowboy shirt. He goes, whoa, look at this. Look at this. He starts picking up the shirt, holding it up, dancing with it. I'm like, what the hell did I do? I give you the gift. I give you the gift that we're going to go away together that you have to pay for your own sweat. And you just go, sure.
I was a little
You just
confused.
won the opportunity to pay for a vacation
I was
with
a
me.
You were
little
confused.
by that.
You were confused.
I'm like, is he gonna pay for something? I don't want to pay for anything.
You were confused.
oh, no, I wasn't going to pay for nothing. I said I got 2 dinners.
And you know what? And that's and I was bad because here's a bad thing. And this is why I'm retiring. Right?
Okay.
Because in my life, right? Up to the time we went away, there was only 2 times that I ever took 2 weeks off in a row from work. Right?
And both of them were Disney.
Both of them when we went down to Disney. Because there was like a mindset, like you don't take off from work. You don't take off from work. And part of me was like, I can't take like 15, 16 days off from work to do this. This is, and then I was like, wait, this is insane. This is like a unique opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And I said that afterwards. I was like,
Yeah.
this is going to be a special thing. We're gonna have a good time. And I said, you know what? I'm like, I think I've had enough of work. See? So you inviting me to go do that sparked my desire to retire.
That's amazing.
Right? And do other stuff, right? Because I you know that. I never took 2 weeks off from work.
No.
I would never take off from work.
No, you do one
Right.
day. They go to Pennsylvania, Peddler's Village. They look at antiques.
Beautiful.
Nice. That is
And
nice.
but so that was, you know, and as we got closer and closer, it became more and more exciting.
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah.
did.
So think about that. Like I didn't get as excited on that Christmas, but from Christmas through till the beginning of March, that was just building and building and building to a crescendo.
I would have framed it also like I want to take you out to dinner in Oxford for your birthday. Like
I bought him what
like,
I gave
in the
him for his gift, I believe, was I said, did I give you the magical mystery tour as your gift? I said I'm going to take you on this.
Yeah, no, you didn't say that. You gave me a book.
On Liverpool,
Yeah,
and I'm saying we're gonna go on the magical mystery tour.
that was later.
I would
Well,
have
it was a hard
I would
Yeah,
have
I
made
was
like a
getting
little
nothing.
itinerary maybe.
I
like,
was getting nothing
before.
from him.
Yeah.
It was odd. I didn't know, but I'm like, he gave me a little book.
You were given nothing. You gotta like
you
explain
a
it.
book.
I, guess.
I wasn't
yeah.
even sure what it was.
Yeah.
Because it really wasn't like a explore, Great Britain or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was, what was it? It was like a
Liverpool.
Beatles Liverpool
Oh yeah,
postcard book.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
guess
confused.
I
I
get
thought
why
I
he
s-
was a little confused.
I thought I said in the moment, oh yeah, well, you and I are gonna go to the magical mystery tour in Liverpool. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would have maybe done a little itinerary.
Robbie,
this is
you
what we're
weren't
gonna
there.
do.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Like, what are we-
Jesus Christ.
Maybe
I'm
it
just
was
saying.
the delivery. Maybe it could have been a little bit more. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was
can't.
just,
I can't. So we go on the.
I mean, it was nice, but it was no
There was no shirt with a cowboy.
shirt with a cowboy on it.
But the trip was great. The trip was great.
The trip was amazing.
That's
It was
amazing.
it was one of the best things I ever did in my life.
That's
And
amazing.
so?
We did it together.
yeah, what'd you think about me driving on the other side of the street?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Yeah,
Right?
that was good. Yeah. Any times that you think that like you're like, my son's getting annoying right now?
Never.
Not once.
No, we were good traveling partners, right? Did I
Yeah.
ever bug you about anything?
One time
When was that?
when we were walking in London.
Oh, you're too slow. You walk
No,
too slow.
no.
I would have to stop and
He
say,
walks
"Come on,
a
catch
little
up."
Slow, yeah.
Catch
Oh,
up.
what is happening?
I
We
walk. He
walked
gets mad
30
that I walk ahead of him. I'm like, I don't know what to do. This is the speed
You
I
walk ahead of everyone.
I do walk
This
ahead of
isn't
a lot of people.
unique
I like to
thing
walk.
to
You
me.
like to walk fast?
I like to walk fast. Yeah, I like to keep my pace moving.
Yep, I do. I walk fast.
We walked 30,000 steps that day.
Yeah, that was good.
No, my dad would do this thing where he thinks London is New York, where he go, we'll just walk, we'll find a place to eat. That was the one time I was like, I can't.
And what in the end? What happened?
We ate at the restaurant attached to the hotel.
Well, no, not attached. Next door to the
Next
hotel.
door.
It was
Yeah,
a block
yeah,
before the
yeah.
hotel.
It was like, imagine
basically-
Denny's serves
basically-
pasta.
Basically,
Okay,
what I said.
diner pasta.
Oh my! And it was called the New York restaurant.
Yeah,
or
it was,
something.
like literally the worst place.
And it was
we
the
could
only
have
restaurant that was
Oh,
open
no.
after 9 o'clock. So,
I got we both just got grilled chickens. It was
Okay.
horrible.
yeah. No, it
The
was a
food
little-
was bad.
It was bad. It was a little rubbery chicken. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Overall, the food was bad. Did you have one meal that you were like?
Oh,
that
I
was
had a
good?
lot of good meals.
Like what? I thought the food went downhill. as the
In
trip went
Edinburgh,
along.
we had a couple of good meals.
Yeah, that's it. And
I mean, 2 times when you were performing and I went out to eat, because I was trying to eat healthy. I went and had a seafood place. It was delicious. And And another time I went and had pasta. It was very good. That
Nice.
pasta place right on the Royal Mile there.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Nice.
So because I was trying to eat healthy, I was trying to balance healthy food and fish and chips.
And fish and chips. Nice.
I mean, you would think walking a mile, 2 miles in a major what people call the biggest city in the world that you would find a decent restaurant.
We were
That's
walking
wild.
up to places that.
That's
Remember,
wild.
we were being turned away from
Oh,
places.
yeah. They were
places
like,
that
Like,
no,
what
we're
are we
not
doing,
serving
London?
anymore.
I feel
It
like
was
this is
9
more
o'clock,
on
it was
London
9
than
o'clock.
you guys. Yeah. That's wild.
I mean, we
me.
spent our time talking about here's what London needs. They need a couple of diners that you could just go into.
Just something that you could eat.
Yeah.
Or a restaurant that's open till 10 o'clock at night.
That's wild that it wasn't.
Everything closed.
and that was London.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like Edinburgh or
No.
I mean, Liverpool stayed. I think they were open.
Stayed
later.
open late.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're a working class town.
So
I think that they're more
People
like
come out
people
of work.
coming off work
Yeah,
at
yeah.
different hours. So they
Yeah.
need like, I think a place like London is more of like a business town. They
Yeah.
9 to 5, or they do 10 to 5.
10 to 5.
They don't even do 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and
Oh,
some
wow.
places they would be like some of the museums. It was like, oh, we close at 5 o'clock, but we stop letting people in at 4.
Me and my dad were online for museums every morning before it opens.
Yeah,
I would
fun.
We were good.
I would mosey in at 2, 3 in the morning, and then I hear my dad at 8:30. All right, come on, let's go.
no, I didn't do 8:30. I would say I would ask him, I'm like, what time you want me to get you up,
And
right.
I always said early.
right? And then like what I would do is there was days that if you came in like there were a few days when you came in really late, and I let you sleep a little bit longer. And I went downstairs. I went outside. I found a place, had a cup of coffee, had a scone, so nobody would yell at me because I'm eating
Yeah.
a scone. But but then there were other things. Times we were like, yeah, we need to get like to go to where'd we go to the
palace.
tower,
Which one?
In
the
London.
Tower of London. Yeah.
We
We
were
had to
like,
go
we
early.
need to get up early and do. We got to be first thing in the
Yeah.
morning. We need to be there early, and
No, we did.
we were there early.
We were there so early.
We wound up getting there too early because we thought it opened up at
9, and we were there
9,
at
it op-
8:30.
right, and it didn't open up until like
10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had coffee and had whatever that was.
That was interesting.
I mean, you didn't take a vacation for 40 years. You weren't going to sit around and twiddle your thumbs.
No,
First vacation that you're taking.
No. What was
You
it-
wanted to use all the time. I get that.
What was it like to see me perform in front of a big group of people?
it was great.
Did you listen to their laugh? Were you like listen to? At what point were you like relaxed during the show?
I was always relaxed.
From the moment one.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Was it
It
big
was good.
audiences?
No, not super bad. Like
Yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah.
100, 120, 150,
Yeah,
something like
that-
that?
Oh, 150 is pretty
it was
big.
Nice. It
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
The theater in Edinburgh was nice.
Yeah, full audience. Yeah.
Yeah, it was full crowd. I mean, they had people standing in the back and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
that
it was,
is
it
nice.
Was, it was good.
That is nice. And was that nice to see me do that?
Yeah, it was great.
That's nice. That's nice. I know you came home and you gave everyone a pamphlet from it.
I did.
What, from the festival?
Yes. Okay, Dad. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Is there anything that you feel like you need to clear the air on the podcast about for the listeners that I might have said, or something that you might want to?
It's hard for me to say because I don't listen to the podcasts.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm single, right? You know this.
Yes, I do know you're single.
What do you think about
We're
that?
waiting. We're patiently waiting for you to find the right girl.
What do you think about that?
Get married.
What do you
have
think about
4 or
that?
5 kids.
I don't think
5
I want
kids.
kids.
You better have a couple of kids.
I don't want any kids.
We need more kids.
They want more kids.
I've never heard this from him once.
They want kids.
But my dad did pull
I'm
me.
thinking about your mother.
You do, for her to stay busy.
For her to have more grandchildren.
You want?
Yippee.
You did pull me aside and say, "All right, enough is enough. You gotta find a girlfriend."
Yeah, it's always good to have a partner. Right?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think you're ready.
You think I'm ready?
Yeah.
What do you think? So pitch me to the audience. There's a lot of beautiful women that listen to the show. What do you mean you can't do
Pitch
it?
me to the
Pitch
audience.
me to the audience,
You
Dad.
can't- The audience loves you.
Dad,
There's
go ahead.
no issues with the audience
Yeah,
loving
go
you.
ahead. Pitch me.
they-
You don't need
you
to
know,
be pitched.
Sell me. If you were to say a beautiful woman shows up, right? She and she goes, "Oh, do you have a son?" "Yes, I do." "Go ahead. Sell me to her."
He's very smart.
Don't
right?
look at me. Look
He's-
at the camera. Look at the camera and tell the audience why they should date me.
Okay. Do you need a partner? He's smart. He's talented. He's funny. He's sensitive. He'll cry at the drop of a hat. Right?
A big pussy. All right, keep going, Dad.
Right?
I think he's doing a good job.
He's
Really?
crushing. My dad's going, keep going. Come on, Dad.
The thing is,
This is going on everything.
And listen, sometimes you don't like, it's like, oh, they're bad in-laws and stuff like that. We have a loving family, right?
there
So
you go.
it's like,
Now we're starting to get you in the pitch.
selling himself a little. I like it.
I'm not just saying me. I'm saying everybody.
Everyone.
Right? He has 2 wonderful sisters, 2 great brother-in-laws, a mother who does anything for him, right? And,
that's
and
the
to be part of that family would be important.
So you think the best quality of me is my family?
Yeah. If I'm thinking about it now.
It sounded like the biggest pitch was he cries fast and he's got a good family.
I said you're smart, you're caring,
You're caring.
right?
Yeah.
You're funny.
Yeah, David, sometimes, if I
Yeah.
want to be. Sometimes I'm not.
People like that. People look for that in relationships.
You think so?
I think so.
That's good.
You
That's
know,
good.
you could tell a good joke.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
happy. Sometimes I'm all emotionally heavy.
You should. That's okay.
That's okay?
That's okay. You know, listen. You have depth.
Thank you.
A lot of
Right?
depth.
What
You
type
got
of
depth.
woman do you think I should
Yeah,
date?
this is what.
I think you should.
Who do you think?
Be open-minded?
What type of what you mean? Include any woman? What do you mean? Be open-minded.
Yeah.
What type of woman? Who did you
Wait,
imagine?
I can tell. He's like, you need to go. He wants me to say, go marry a nice Italian girl.
That's what he's baiting
that
you
is
to do.
the
That's what I was
subtext.
kind
I'm
of
being
wondering. I
baited
don't
here.
agree.
No,
I don't
I'm
disagree.
seeing what you want from me.
Because
What do you
I
want
think-
from me?
Yeah,
Here's what I want.
what's the
I
question
want you
exactly?
to be happy.
Yeah, but what do you want out
Right?
of that?
And you want to have a partner who is also smart, caring, will watch out for you, will support you.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, you see me and Mom, we support each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys complain that we fight all the time. We don't fight all the time.
No, Mom tells you what to do.
Sometimes.
That is what happens in the house.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and you're good about that. You're like a good husband in the way that Mom will tell you what to do. Is that you're just waiting and you go, I'll pick my moments when I say I don't want to do that?
What's important to you? There's your answer. What's important to you?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Right?
So you wouldn't say...
Mom needs to tell me, Anthony, you know, get the flat dishes or get that. I'm like, whatever.
You don't let your ego get in the way, it seems, as much.
Yeah.
What would you think
not
about...
I think Sebastian cares a lot
If I
about
spent
what,
the
like,
bulk of my career
Yeah.
doing work around leadership, and Mom wants to be
The
a
leader?
have a good time.
That's
Yeah,
nice. She
that's
runs the
good.
show.
But that's what you need to look for in a woman is a woman, right? You're looking for a woman.
There we go. Here's a question, Dad. I come home.
Yeah.
I'm with a woman.
Yeah.
Goth, black makeup, pale.
Yeah.
Pale. She puts powder to be pale.
Okay.
Goth, black makeup. Her job is that she's a freelance gardener in Brooklyn.
Okay.
She's polyamorous. And she has a husband, and she's coming home with me. What do you think?
That's complicated.
Well, all right, everything up until polyamorous and she has a husband is a little
Polyamorous
What do you think about me bringing home a married woman who's poly?
No, you shouldn't.
You-
That's going to lead no place good.
Yeah, okay.
You're traditional. You're kind of a traditional dude.
You think so?
I do think so. I think there's part of you that would like to get married and have a family or not, but just to have a partner,
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
is probably important to you, right? Am I
Yeah.
true? Right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
I
important
kinda, I
to me.
kinda
Maybe
know you a little bit.
Maybe I'll try.
I
I've
think
been
you're good. I think
trying a
you're
little
ready.
bit. I've been trying a little bit.
Good.
Only failing. You think it's my personality?
I'm not sure where to go, but
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
no, I think you have a good personality.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Thank you, Dan.
I think you're actually nervous about going into a relationship because of your job.
because of my job.
Yeah, I think you feel like you don't make enough money.
I don't.
That's how come making the pitch that people should send you money.
Yeah,
Really?
thank you.
So you
thank
think if I made money, I would have a girlfriend?
I think if you were making more money, you would feel more stable and more comfortable in going into a relationship.
There we go.
Right?
I mean, definitely. Right.
And we've said this off the mic, right?
Uh-huh.
Boy, this is
not what you thought it would
This
be.
is not what I thought it would be.
Really?
Just so
This
the
is a happy
record.
Father's Day. This is a happy Father's Day.
Sometimes
episode.
Sebastian gets on. He wants to talk. He wants to talk about that. He
I
won't
do.
talk outside of the mics. Oh,
No,
that's what we
I
do.
came here. I had an agenda.
He had an
I don't know
agenda.
if you know. I had an agenda. I had things I want to check off the list.
Yeah.
All right. So now,
and so at this point, it's basically me pitching you to have
To
women
get some
go out
ass.
with you. Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
what?
Talking like that.
Really?
Okay. Everyone on the podcast, we've talked about this. You taught me one of the most valuable lessons you could teach a teenage boy, and I want to thank you for that.
I thought it was never say you had a small penis.
That's a comedian.
That's what I
That's a
heard.
comedian.
That's
That's
what
a
I
comedian.
heard.
That's
Yeah.
as a comedian. This is as a teenage
I'm trying to
teenage
think
boy.
of this.
All the things, because if people listen to this, they're going to be so. This is what you taught your son.
Well, this is a valuable lesson.
Okay.
You taught me. Well, you did. I'll say something nice before we say the hard hitting one.
Okay.
You did teach me this thing about beautiful moments, right? What do you call them?
Yeah.
That's what you call them?
Perfect moment.
Perfect moments in
Yep.
life, and that I'll cherish forever. He goes, life is made of a series of perfect moments,
I like that.
and that you just find them. And when we went to Disney first, when we were younger, my dad made a book, and he described. He goes, this was one of my perfect moments, and like took pictures and talked about it. He talked about perfect moments with him and his dad. That's something I take with me. That's a beautiful lesson you taught me.
Yep.
And I always know when they're happening to try to clock them. You know, like this is something like remember the good, not just the bad.
Because sometimes we miss those moments.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because those perfect moments, very subtle.
Yes.
For sure.
You taught me something so beautiful as a teenager. You sat me down. You brought me to the computer, and you said, Sebastian, this is how you delete the search history. For when you're perusing for a
Told this story
doozy.
many times.
When you're perusing on the internet, son, this is how you get rid of the search history on the family computer.
Yes. Yes.
What was this a lesson that was passed down from grandpa to you?
No.
What brought this
Grandpa
about?
did not have a computer.
No, I know.
The first computer I had was in 1982.
So what was this? Was this a proud? Did you discuss this with mom? Or were you like, this is my moment to be a dad right here?
No. What do you mean? Because it was terrifying that
Not
people would open up the computer and it'd be like, what the hell is this?
Oh, Sebastian was just leaving it up.
Sometimes.
I would just leave up porn on the computer. I would leave up.
You were not very good at covering your tracks.
I would just leave things up.
Yes. And I was like,
You
know
would just walk downstairs and turn on the computer, and there would just be boobs on the computer.
if only.
What do you mean, if only?
But we would talk. But listen, you're a young guy.
I was young,
and
teenage kid.
What was I going to
normal.
say? What was I going to say? You don't look at pornography because you'll go blind or whatever.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I don't think what you did is wrong. I think
Yeah.
that is a
I was
father's
like,
job.
just like, first off, there were more rules, right? That like you never go in and subscribe to something or pay for something or whatever. And
There we go. My dad hates OnlyFans.
I think at the time he didn't want his kid who had no money.
He didn't want me taking his credit card.
$52.99
Wait, did I ever
for a
take your
monthly
credit card for
subscription.
anything?
No,
Okay.
you never did that.
Okay. But so that was
Next
one
thing
rule.
you know,
and
$10,000.
but because also you had your mother and your sisters.
Yeah.
Everybody used the house
Yeah,
computer,
yeah.
and sometimes there would be things that showed up there. So it was like, you know what, if you're gonna do this, I'm not gonna say, it's like also you have to understand this is not real.
Yeah.
But delete it,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, that is nice.
And then you deleted stuff.
there we go.
Who knows what else you was doing.
And when you came on the computer and you saw clear history, you go, "That's my boy." I taught my
He's
son
learning.
well.
Well, you were always smart.
The first time you saw clear history, did you shed a tear? Did you say, "Wow, my son's really learning"?
Sebastian was incapable of figuring out how to cover his tracks.
Okay. He would
One-
just be reckless.
One time, him and his friends cut out of school, go to my house,
Sounds pretty
and
cool to me. I don't
have
know
a
what you're
little
saying.
party in the house.
St. Patty's Day.
Drinking beers,
Oh.
right? And so they clean up, and they go back to school to do after
Play rehearsal.
After
I couldn't
school,
miss play rehearsal.
right? To which he gets into trouble. But that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was I go into the garbage pail, and there in the garbage pail, half full of empty beer bottles.
I actually think this is a funny move because it's like, all right, at least he's not trying to play you for a fool. He's just like, yeah, this is what I did. Some kids try to like do this elaborate cleanup, and it's like half-assed.
You thought that?
Oh, you were trying to get away with it.
Yeah, he was trying to get away with it. And I'm like,
Can I tell
what are
you
you
something?
doing?
It sounds like he
Can I tell you
wasn't
something
trying to
about
get away
that
with
He
day?
it.
didn't want us to know.
Yeah.
Take the bottles with
I'll
you.
tell you
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about that day, Dad. I hit a point that day of St. Patty's Day. It was halfway through the day, and I remember like people were texting me from school that they knew, and I just go, I'm screwed. I just knew I was caught, so I said we're just gonna have a good time.
And you got caught.
And I got caught. So
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than stress about getting caught the whole time, I said let's just take it easy.
You always got caught. That was the problem.
There you go. There you go. Always got caught. Pretty good. Pretty good. Consistent.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful, Dad. Before you get out of here, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want you to say yes or no to them, okay? Cool. But before you answer, I want you to take a nice pause to think about them. Really let the people know that you're contemplating the answer, okay?
Okay.
Are you proud of me as a son?
Yes.
Whoa. Too quick. We're going to do that again.
Okay.
And I want you to take a nice, dramatic, long pause.
Okay.
So the audience has no idea what's about to happen.
I got it.
Okay?
I got it. This is just like when he does auditions on right? Do you ever talk about how I help you do your auditions?
I don't get any parts.
I got a bunch of parts.
The producers hear you. I love it.
They're like, who's that guy in the background?
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you proud of me as a son?
Yes.
There we go.
Was that good?
That's some
Was
good
that
acting.
good?
Okay. There we go.
I even did the little thing touching my beard.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Do you think I made a mistake getting into comedy?
No.
Oh! Okay. Here's a hard one. Am I your favorite child?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. He knows how to please the fans. Okay. Ready?
Now you also know if Lene asked me that question, I would say yes to her. And they would do this at the dinner table.
They would ask you.
Dad, are you my favorite? Actually, Sebastian never does that.
Yeah.
Because Carly Ann would say, are you my favorite? Lene would say, oh, Dad, I thought you said I was your favorite. And I would say yes to both of them. And then Sebastian would go, I'm not your favorite. And the girls would just laugh and say, well, why don't we ask Mom?
That's what Mom would say. Well, what would Mom say when we asked Mom, what child do you love the most? What was her response?
Everybody needs different love.
I love the child, the amount of love they need.
Yeah.
Which
wow.
is such a slap in the face.
He needs a lot of love. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one more question.
Go
before
ahead.
we get out of here. Do you think Robbie is a good man?
Yes.
There we go,
All
Robbie.
right. Thank you.
Of course
Have
he
to
is.
Put him on the spot. Thanks.
Do you have any
No,
questions?
You know I think that.
He likes it.
Yeah.
Any questions from my dad before he gets out of here, Robbie?
I think we're good.
You think we're good?
Amen.
I think we're good. I'm
All
sorry.
right,
I don't
beautiful.
need to keep you longer.
Beautiful, Dad. Anything?
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, anything that you want to tell the audience out there before, like, say, do you want people to look at your Instagram? I know that you got a great Instagram. No, yeah,
I think I do have an Instagram account somewhere.
you do. Yeah, it's nice.
I've never posted.
No, you have.
Okay.
Beautiful. Well,
I think Mom posted for me once.
oh, nice.
So
I think this is nice. I'm excited for you to retire. I'm excited to spend the summer, go to the pool a bunch.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice that you retire. You could come to Brooklyn more. We're going to have you sitting right over there. You'll be taking notes for us. You'll be editing the podcast.
Amen. Somebody needs to do that.
You're going to start
Somebody
doing some
does.
work. You're going to start transcribing the episodes. Okay, Dad? So I want you to actually not only hear the horrible things I say, but put them into words. How about that?
They have programs that do
They
that.
do have programs.
So you don't need me to do that.
There we go.
Wait, are you going to give a shout to Spartacus?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, give a shout out. Without crying.
I'm okay. Recently, before we get out of here, my father he had a dog, Spartacus, that passed away yesterday.
Yep.
So we want to send some love to the family dog, Spartacus. My dad's little guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you had
Yeah.
to do that, Dad. That must have been hard.
It was sad. It was hard.
It was hard. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not the friendliest dog, but still the family dog.
He was friendly to me.
Barely, Dad. He ripped your toenail off.
Why are we doing this?
I mean, how many days
He's
do we
dead
have to
one
pretend
day.
that he was?
Can we at least give him a week?
I was there
Are we talking
when
about
he
the
just
toenail?
bit my dad's toe and ripped the toenail off.
He was
And-
at the time he was blind, and I did step on him.
And my dad starts screaming, "What the F? Oh my God!" Runs upstairs. I see the dog. The dog's just licking the blood off the toenail. This thing was a monster. Some days.
He was a vicious dog.
Yeah.
It was also he was a little Yorkie.
Yes,
right?
he was a tiny. It wasn't like a big dog.
No, he wasn't. He was
Um,
like 12, 13 pounds. That
The
was it.
cutest thing the dog would do was jump in the pool and swim.
He would jump in the pool, get the ball, swim.
And it was very cute to see Grandpa when Grandpa was alive with the dog.
Oh, Grandpa loved the dog and would be like, "Get this dog away from me,"
I know.
all the time.
But he loved the dog, and
Yeah.
my grandma would make special food for the dog.
She would. We went over there. She would make us. We would be having macaroni. She'd make him his own little steak.
Oh, wow.
My grandma cooked so much food for us.
She did. She cooked a lot.
She cooked every Sunday nonstop. That
Yep.
must have been nice that your mom lived that close.
Yeah, it was nice.
That was nice.
It was nice.
Um,
So, well,
Yeah.
thank you for giving the shout out for Spartacus. I'm
Of
sure he
course.
appreciates it. He was a good dog. He stayed. And listen, the entire pandemic, he sat on my lap.
yeah,
While I
yeah. He
was
sat on
working.
your lap. Yeah.
Yep.
So
So that was good.
that'll be
That
hard.
was good.
It's gonna be a hard transition.
Yeah. Well, maybe you want to come lie on my lap and I can rub your head.
Well, happy Father's Day, all the dads out there. I got my dad a beautiful gift.
Which is what, your
yep.
presents again?
Yes, I gave
Is this
him.
the gift?
No,
the
no,
gift
he got
was
me
to
a
come
gift.
on the podcast. He said nothing about it. He was pissed. No, I got him a little sign for the tiki.
Oh,
For the
nice.
tiki bar.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dad. Thanks so much for
At
coming
least
on.
he said it's in the mail.
It's
Okay.
in. I just got an email today. It's on its way. UPS just emailed me. It'll be here before the 4th, so you'll have it up for that weekend.
Okay.
Beautiful. Robbie, anything you want to plug?
Loud about nothing. Keep
There we
following.
go.
Keep listening. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's pretty much it.
There you go. Yep, Bob. But when you hear this, I'll be in Denver. I would have just celebrated the Nuggets win.
Oh, yeah. Shout
That's-
out the Nuggets.
Shout out the Nuggets for winning. I'm very excited. I'll get to go to the Denver parade.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, everyone, keep sharing the podcast. Subscribe to YouTube. Share the clips. Write those 5-star reviews. We love it. All right, Robbie, hit the music.